Alright, so we're going to move ahead one chart here. We've got a lot of charts to work with today. I'm not going to say cover because I could do the whole lesson on 4 charts prior to the most recent one. It's pretty much the same subject matter, and I understand the peculiarities of the earlier charts, and each chart kind of removes those ambiguities, just improving on it. Major and Phrygian dot scales, 238. Ooh, 238, that sounds like, an airplane or something, the P38, the P238, whatever. Sounds like a tough chart. And believe me, it was a difficult chart. So I tried to straighten things out here, but the best thing to look at, and of course we have a lot of fretboard to work with. Why? The reason why I got this much fretboard is because, let's say we're looking at that 6 again, right? So that's going to be A minor, that's going to be the A dot in the key of C. And what we want to do is look at that as the 6th of the key of C, right? So where would the root be? The root would be up here, a minor third above it. Okay, so if we wanted to count a major scale, and in this case we're not going to play this scale that we're looking at right now. We're going to define what's called a dot scale. That is a scale which on that scale, that A can be a number of different scale members. It can be the 6th, but it can also be, so we got our A minor 6 here, and then we have the parent scale, which is at the root here. So that's why I have so much fretboard. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay, that A can become, it's the 6th of the root, but now that scale, that dot scale, becomes 7 scales. So it's the 6th of the root, but it's the 5th of the 2nd of the Dorian. It's the 4th of the Phrygian. It's the 3rd of the Lydian. It's the 2nd of the Mixolydian. It's the root of the Aeolian, and it's the dominant 7th of the Locrian, and the Locrian doesn't have a leading tone. So that is the 7th of the Locrian, and it's the 6th again of the Ionian. So it's actually 7 scales in one, and this is a fundamental concept in music too. That a major scale is 7 scales. So that's what the dot scale is, and the point is that we'll see here, it should become obvious after a while. You're not going to get this concept right away, and that is, how many options do we have, say, when you're playing the G dot? Okay, what is that G? Okay, what's it the 3rd of? Well, it's the 3rd of E flat. Okay, let's stick to the A dot, because the E flat's a little more difficult. It's another head to, another key to wrap your head around, right? With the A, it's the 6th of the key of C, right? So what we're talking about here. That doesn't mean we have to play in the key of C, because the magic thing about the dot scales, and here it is, they can be major or minor. So the A can be the 6th of C major, right? It can be the 5th of either D minor or D major. It's still the 5th. And with E, it can be the 4th of either E minor or E major. So now we're talking about how many choices do we have. It's more than 7 choices, but really it is, because originally when I made chart 235, 236, I was looking for 7 major scales. So each note in the Phrygian scale is a major key scale. Well, it can be a minor key too. It can be a modal scale. Okay, it'll still work that way. It works easier that way, actually. So in any case, that A, we know that A can be, it could be the 6th of C. It could be the 5th of the key of G. So if this was the 5th of the key of G, right, and the A is there, then we look over here at, let's see what I have here. We have a different chart here. Today's chart has the modes on it, or should have the modes on it. Let's see if we can get up there. I don't have the modals on this. Here's today's chart, which is good. Hey, it's today. So that Aeolian 6 would be where? It would be on the G shape, and I've got a big long fretboard, super long fretboard, like dun, 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 you know what I mean? It can be done. So that G is right here now, okay? And we're looking at that A. Now, what is it the 5th of? Okay, well, we're going to look at over here. We're going to say now it's the 5th. Oh, that same A note is now the 5th of something. What is it the 5th of? It's the 5th of D. Okay, so let's look for that A being the 5th of D. All right. This A shape is the 5th of the D shape, certainly, but we're on the A shape because we're on the 5, and we had decided that we were going to play in the key of D, right? So let me take the capo off a minute because it's irrelevant. So here's our key of D. All right, that A is going to be the 5th of the key of D. Okay, so the question is what scale are we going to play? We want to find the D on this, and it's in the key of D, so it'll be the A shape. 5 root 3. Here's our D. So here's our E shape D. Here's our D shape D. Here's our C shape D. And then we go up to the A shape D. C goes to A. So it was E, D, and then start caged again, C, A. So we're going to play the A from that. If we call the key a D, we know it's the 5th. We're going to play the A shape, okay, because down here, when we play an A shape down here, the real deal A, E becomes the 5th there. Now we're playing the real, the A-shaped D, so A becomes the 5th. And we play simply that A pattern there, which goes like this. Okay? I keep doing that. I keep bringing it over too early. So that's simply just an S1A and then an S4E again. Stay on the brick wall until the warp, and then an S1A. Okay? And these glasses, this is way too close for these glasses. But I don't want to get into every little nick and cranny on my guitar either. So that's the name of that tune. Alright, so let's zoom out. Now let's talk a little bit more about the dot scales. This is the everything, because when I talk about versatility, I mean any note can be a starting note. It doesn't have to have a dot on it. But here are the dot notes and the little dot scales. Remember, a dot scale has 7, 8 members, right? And there's what, 5 dots: G, A, B, C sharp, and E.